Alright, hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Trogdor, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's mad early, and I've barely only just now started drinking my tea, and I've been switching over from coffee to tea lately, so if this recording sounds off in any way, it's tiredness plus what is this strange non-coffee beverage that I'm drinking, and just still getting caffeine into me as I record and stuff. Anyway, that aside, we're in the 10th week of the PTL. Holy crap, it's been 10 weeks already. To be fair, we drafted in July, and then there's huge hiatus and stuff, but yeah, we're 66.6% done with this season now. There's still 5 more weeks, so it's still, we got some time to go, but yeah, we're making huge progress. So okay, real quick, I have been doing horribly. Holy crap, I'm on how many lose streak? I won weeks 2 and 3, and then just after that it was just nah. So basically at this point we're gonna get relegated, but I still want to do my best, build as good of teams as I can, and just see what I am capable of with this draft that I got. So we're going up against It Shade. He's got the Calgary Talonflames. We're both repping some NHL teams, which is awesome. 2 West Coast Canadian teams. That's pretty cool. But that aside, I went over his team and I went over my team in my team builder video. Go check that out because I talked a lot more about it, went in depth, talked about my general game plan and stuff like that. But quick recap. I've got a Spidef, but also Adamant Braviary. I've got a Scarf Trapping Doug Trio. I've got a Stallbreaker, Taunt, Dragon Dance, Mega Gyarados. I've got Double Dance TERRAKION, which, depending on his team, I would either go for an SD or a Rock Polish, and then, it can just do a number to his entire team with the Dual Stab and the Rocky MZ. Got a Special Attacking Latias with just safety goggles to switch into Mega Venusaur 100% of the time, because the best thing that I can do to me is with the Sleep Powder, and then Toxic Salazzle because I can toxic so many things on his team, which is great. Anyway, excuse me, let's go ahead and see what Shade brought. He's got a lot of potentially fat things. He's got a potentially few offensive things. So yeah, he's brought the Goodra, he brought Bronzong, Crocodile, Alolan Marowak, Skarmory, and Venusaur. The first thing that I notice is that there's no Raikou on his team, which that's the fastest thing that he has. So the fastest thing that he has now is Crocodile, which my more than half my team outspeeds that, so he's probably Scarf. That's just what I'm thinking right there. That Venusaur and Skarmory are going to be really fat. That Bronzong is going to be really fat. He's got dual steel types here, which is interesting. Goodra could be something like AV, Goodra just pulls off a really good AV set, and having a really fat dragon type is annoying for my team. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lead Salazzle in case he wants to lead with something to get up hazards. I can toxic that because if I get a toxic on the Bronzong, Skarmory, Venusaur, that's part of my game plan, because it's just otherwise those things are just so ridiculously difficult for me to take down. I want to get his team worn down a bit, and I want to clean up with Terrakion. It looks like I can if his team gets weakened a little bit, so geez, I'm sorry about my throat. A couple of things the Goodra and Bronzong lack reliable recovery, so yeah, let's make that happen. All right. So yeah, leading Salazzle, he leads Skarmory, so this is awesome. This is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. Probably going to be scaring him out with a big Fire Blast, but you know what? I'm just going to hit something with a Toxic because I cannot miss. So Goodra comes in. That is cool. I see right away that it's not Lefty, so it probably is AV. Goes for T-Bolt, and Latios can tank that really good. And I'm just going to... Okay, what I actually did was I was threatening a Draco or Psyshock or something. So I wanted to see if Crocodile was his primary switch to my Latias. So I doubled into Terrakion, hoping that he would go into the Crook. Because if he went into the Crook right here, then I would hit it with a close combat. Or no, I still think it's Scarf, but I'm just testing the waters to see if he would be going into that so that I can bait a knockoff from the Crook, go into Laddie, get the huge justified boost with TERRAKION, etc. So I'm just testing the waters with that right now. So he does in fact go into Crocodile here, so I'm going to go into Gyarados and, you know, get the Intimidate, because I noticed he wasn't Intimidate, so that probably is Moxie, which is great to know, because I was actually kind of afraid of the Intimidate. That might have, you know, put a stop to like Gyarados or TERRAKION, but he is Moxie. So Earthquake doesn't affect me at all. So I'm going to go for the, you know, I knew he was going to switch, but I went for the Waterfall. So I've got, like, I know Venusaur can hit me with a really powerful stab, but I do have the Taunt because, you know, it can't go for Leech Seed, it can't go for Sleep Powder, it can't go for Synthesis, and Giga Drain, like, I don't think it can 2-hit KO me, but yeah, but first I'm going to go into Latios because that's been the plan the whole time. Goes for the Sludge Bomb, so no, what do you call it, Sleep Powder. I get poisoned though, so once again, it's like the second time I brought safety goggles this season, it just does nothing. But good to know that I scared the Venusaur out. So I'm going to go for the Psychic. I'm hoping that I bluff the choice in some way, but Latios is so low at this point that it's just not going to be doing anything. He gets up his Rocks, which, you know, I have been bad about bringing hazard removal. I get a Toxic off on the Bronzong though, which is awesome. Sorry, drinking more tea. Yeah, so I get a Toxic on that Bronzong, so, you know, it's not something that you see every day. So it's like on a timer no matter what, which is great. Yeah, he got the Rocks up though, which, you know, I don't have removal on this team. I barely ever bring removal. I'm gonna taunt this Bronzong, which is great, because he wanted to, he was about to go for the Toxic on me. So now I can dance for free. And here we are once again with the Mega Venusaur. I'm going to crunch it. That's a 2-hit KO from where he was in that range. And he goes for the Sludge Bomb right there. I'm wondering, is that the most damage he can do to me? So I could go for the crunch again and KO the Venusaur. Or I could predict him to switch and go for another Dragon Dance and then just put another huge number on his team. So I know that Crunch is a safe play, but I just decide to like YOLO swag it and go for a Dragon Dance again. But he stays in and goes for the Giga Drain. I live at like 4%, which that was kind of huge, but I am able to KO Mega Venusaur. Skarmory comes in, I go for the Waterfall, hoping for the flinch, but he is actually Rocky Helmet. And I do actually get the flinch on that, so if, you know, if that was a leftover Skarmory, I would have been able to take it out. But yeah, Rocky Helmet, nice tech on there, so Gyarados goes down to that, which is unfortunate, but I go into Latias because I've got Thunderbolt, which, you know, Bronzong is the much better switch into Latias. If I had Shadow Ball, that would have been, you know, an entirely different story. This isn't the first time that I've had Latias go up against a combination of Mega Venusaur and Bronzong, yet last time I brought the Shadow Ball, and this time I forgot the Shadow Ball. It would have just been a, you know, a little bit smarter on my prep, but Bronzong is not, you know, the most threatening thing on his team. It's just the best thing to deal with my Latias, which otherwise would have been crucial, but, you know, with the poison and stuff, you know, it's not really doing much. So yeah, I do that. He picks me off. He manages to hit the Zen Headbutt. I think Gyro Ball would have been the better play there, but maybe that's his only attacking move, that and Earthquake. So I go for the Rock Polish. He goes for the Toxic right there. I was predicting something along the lines of he already revealed the Earthquake and, you know, probably had the Gyro Ball. But yeah, he goes for the Toxic right here, which is kind of a big deal. But I go for the Rock Polish right here, because now I know I outspeed the Crook. The level of health the Skarmory is, I know I can KO it with close combat. The level of health that Goodra is, it's actually like, Goodra I think is the one thing that is going to be going down to my Z move. Alolan Marowak, if I can hit a Stone Edge, that obviously goes down. So where I stand right now, I can KO everything on his team. Like, I can outspeed and KO everything on his team. But that Toxic put me on a timer. So now we'll see whether or not I actually survive long enough to KO everything on his team and what he's got left. So I've still got my Dugtrio, so I can trap things, and I've got the dark coverage for things like Bronzong and Marowak. And I've got Braviary, which actually has a lot of investment. And aside from Crocodile, he's got mostly fat things that probably cannot KO me. So let's see how far TERRAKION can get now, shall we? yeah, Toxic starts to do its thing. Close combat takes out the Bronzong. Defensive drops don't matter because I outspeed and KO everything. So he goes into the Skarmory. There we go. Close combat takes it out. I take the Rocky Helmet damage, which sucks. But yeah, once again, Terrakion's taking things out. So I need to hit a Stone Edge right here. I do, and Marowak goes down. So Gudra's the last thing that he goes into, and Toxic will take me out next turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with the Z move because I know that if it's like a bulky Gudra, I cannot KO with close combat. I can only KO it with my Continental Crush. So go ahead and do that. And Terrakion just like blew past most of his team, and you know I go down to Toxic, which you know that sucks. So he's got Crocodile left. I was choosing between Dugtrio and Braviary. It all depended on like what moves he had. So I ended up going to Dugtrio as you can see, because now he's probably going to be going for the knockoff, and I was just worried that if I started with Braviary, he would have gone for the Stone Edge, and that would have done too much. So I think Braviary can live a knockoff after Dugtrio like does damage to Crocodile. I can't KO it. I can do like 49% max, which Dugtrio goes down, and then he gets the Moxie boost, and then I take rocks, and then it's like a roll. Really not in my favor for this, but if I do get a hit, I can take it out with Frustration, but I don't get the hit, and Braviary goes down. Good game, Shade. It came really close. I had put too many eggs in Terrakion's basket and just like didn't really think about my game plan after that. The smarter play would have been to go into the Braviary because I was bulky enough to live any hit besides Stone Edge, and then it was just a matter of would Stone Edge have actually KO'd Dugtrio, and would it have actually connected, because it misses like all the time except when he gets a crit. So I like really misplayed at the end there. I also misplayed with the Gyarados versus Venusaur situation. I should have just gone for the KO instead of greeting with Dragon Dance, because the purpose of Gyarados was not to sweep, it was to like do some stall breaking type things, especially since at the time Bronzong was still around, and it would have just been easier for Gyarados to deal with Bronzong before going into Terrakion, which in that case it would have cleaned up. But yeah, good game. Definitely played well. Like, Crocodile was the biggest threat to my team, and you saved it just for that. And yeah, I once again continue my losing streak, and my prospects for Division 2 get even better now. So I still want to do the best I can for the last third of this season. I don't want to disappoint myself or anyone else. But yeah, that's all for me today. Just creating this record losing streak for myself. But yeah, oh well, things happen. If you liked the video, liked it, if you want to say anything about it, comment down below. Subscribe if you're new, because I've got a lot of cool content coming and whatnot. 2 leagues, uploading 4 days a week, sometimes more. So yeah, stay tuned for everything, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Take care now. Bye bye.